Hey guys, it's Sarah Cray with Let's Make Art, and we are going to do our first October YouTube tutorial. Last week I did this project, which was super fun. You guys are having a lot of fun with it, and it's great to see all your different paintings. And I thought it'd be really cool if I combined this project idea with this journal painting that I did last year, where it's just a little witch silhouette by the moon. And I purchased this journal a couple months ago, and I haven't had a chance to use it. So this is from an artist called Classica, where she takes these old books and hand binds them and hand stitches them with watercolor paper, like really high-end watercolor paper. So they're just really beautiful. And I've been wanting to use it for a long time, and I just kind of gotten busy, but I thought this project would be the perfect one to try this with. I have my supplies ready. I haven't really painted this before, so I'll just list what I'm using in the description, and let's go. I taped down my paper, and I'm using binder clips to basically weigh my paper down. Even though this lays pretty flat, sometimes the things just like to stick up, so I like to use binder clips just to keep it down. And I'm going to start by just wetting the entire paper. And this is why I love working in journals, because you can take some ideas that you have seen and combine them and explore and try something. And it doesn't have to be this like loose sheet that just like hangs out. You close your journal, you turn the page, and then it's done. Also, if you have a hard time starting your journal, never start on the first page. This is like page 4 in my journal. I don't know why. It just feels better to skip. Okay, I'm going to use Sodalite Genuine because it's just a lovely color and it is granulating. I'm going to think about where I want kind of there to be some cloud highlights. I'm just using around 10 for this. And I'm going to do another layer here. I want this to be nice and dark, especially because I'm going to try and do a moon right here. So I want that nice brightness of the moon to kind of shine through. Let's do even more. And kind of let yourself make some kind of uneven shapes along the edges. And I think one thing I might do, since I'm going to be doing a full moon instead of a crescent, is I'm going to kind of lighten the area where I'm going to put the moon. You know how sometimes right around the moon, it's just a little bit lighter in value? So I'm just going to use my paper towel to kind of create this glow. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Okay. I'm going to do one more layer, kind of working around that paint I just pulled out. And if you don't like, if there's like not a smooth transition, then you can just go back in with your brush and kind of work that area. You can also just lift out with your brush. Sometimes that makes a smoother kind of transition than using your paper towel. So here, I'll show you how to do that. And I'm going to go even darker down here. And again, don't be afraid to kind of smear some of this paint around. And I'm going to do a hint of like the start of, like give my cloud shape just a little bit of form by having this kind of medium value or light medium value in there. Okay. That feels really good. And what I need to do is I need to let this dry before I do anything else. So I'm going to dry it. And you can see, because I'm using Sodalite Genuine, which is a granulating color, the pigments separate on the page, which is a quality of a granulating paint that I personally really love. However, if you don't know that your paint is granulating and then you start to paint with it, it can easily be frustrating because you're like, wait, why am I getting this graininess? I think it creates really lovely textures, but that's just me. You can also use your paper towel to like lift up some color along the edges if you want to lighten some areas. I'm going to put this behind here now. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try painting my moon. I have some white gouache here. I also have my go-to, which is bleed proof white. I'm just kind of running pretty low on it. So I have the white gouache as a backup to make it super white and opaque if my bleed proof white is just a little bit too dried out. Okay. So let's do a moon right in the middle here. Try really hard to make it not a wonky circle. Okay. And then let's flick some stars on there. I'm going to cover this side of the page so I don't get white paint all over it. I'm going to do a little bit of stars on the top left, not a ton because I want to paint my witch first. Okay, that's a great start. And now I'm going to use just lamp black for the witch silhouette. And please remember, I'm saying the supplies that I'm using, but it's more important for you guys to create than having the perfect supplies. So if you don't have the exact brands, the exact colors, it really doesn't matter. Just use whatever you have. And that's way more important than trying to match it exactly. Okay. So again, I'm going to try and do a flying witch silhouette in here. I'm going to do just one. And silhouettes are kind of funny because a lot of the time, the little details that make it what it is are so fine. So I'm going to just kind of go for it. So I have a round two. I'm grabbing black. I'm going to put it right here because I want it to be against a lighter area so then the black shows up. If I were to try and do like the witch silhouette down here in a very dark value area, you're not going to see it very well. So I want to kind of do it close to the moon. So let's start with doing the broom tail. And then I'm going to paint the broom. Okay. And then let's do, gosh, it probably would have been helpful if I grabbed a reference photo before I started, but I'm just going to go for it. Body's laying kind of sideways. Here's the upper part. Then a very, very thin arm holding onto the broom. And let's try, she has hair and a witch's hat. Okay, I feel like she needs to be bigger. So let's make her bigger. And it's not the end of the world if you start out like too tiny, because you can always increase the size of something. It's hard to make something smaller after you paint it in watercolor, so. Dress longer. And it's funny because right now my self-talk is a little bit like, this witch does not look like a witch. Looks a little wonky. But I have to remind myself that people fill in the gaps a lot for us. So we might be stressing about how something looks, but the reality is, like, you have a broomstick in the air next to the moon and it's October, that's going to be Halloween-y. If it's helpful for you to like look up a picture of a silhouette while you're painting this, you can do that. Okay, that feels a little bit better. I think I want the broom to be a little bit thinner up here. Okay, that feels good. And then one thing I'm going to do is do a little highlight because she's silhouetted, but also the moon would be kind of creating just a little bit of a highlight. So kind of on that left edge. And just add a little highlight, and then let's add some more stars. And I kind of want to cover her up so we don't get stars on her. Okay. And then for an extra little thing of whimsy, we can add a shooting star if you want to. So you just do a little dot, and then while it's wet, you take a smaller brush and just pull it. And if you're feeling extra fun, I think like a yellow moon would actually be really beautiful. Or I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of shadow on my moon just to give it a little bit more form. So on the left-hand side, I'm just going to kind of put a gray in there. Then I'm gonna take some bleed-proof white and just kind of smear it, kind of following the curve. And if you want to do one more layer, you can. And there it is. There's our little full moon with the flying witch. I'm going to dry this and then I'm going to pull off the tape to see how well that held up. There we go. Okay. This turned out so fun. I think probably because, oh shoot, that was still wet. That's okay. Gosh dang it. I hate it when I do that. I think what I would do here that I liked is I would probably try and do one more silhouette of a witch flying maybe right here, or even do a third one right here, do two more. I think that would actually add to the movement and kind of give this kind of like, I don't know, just kind of fill the space a little bit more, maybe because she's so small, but super cute, super fun. This was only, what, 3 paint colors. And the granulating paint here, you can see we have such beautiful textures and uneven colors here. Anyways, there's so many options that you can go with this project. You can add color in there to make it galaxy. You can do different silhouettes and different moon shapes, different cloud shapes. This is a wonderful project to do for your journal if you wanted to just do something fast and loose, and especially if you want to do something a little more in the spooky season. So thank you guys so much for painting with me. I hope you have fun with this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.